Alright, hey y'all. Today is going to be about slope-intercept in the real world. We've talked a lot about slope-intercept, y equals mx plus b. So now we're going to bring it back to a real-world context. To interpret or describe in context, that means what do the numbers mean? Sure, you have an equation with numbers and variables, but do you know what those numbers represent, what those variables represent? That is the real question. Can you interpret an equation? Can you describe the equation? So you'll see forms y equals mx plus b, or you might even see it y equals b plus mx. Either way, it's the same equation. It's a linear equation. The m is the slope or the rate of change, the constant rate of change. And b is your y-intercept. And for this, it means the starting amount or the initial amount. The starting amount or the initial amount. So whatever you start at, whatever your original initial amount is. So here are some helpful hints. I'm giving you 3 helpful hints that I'm going to use to go through these problems. Number 1, you're going to look for these words, per, each, and every. And that is usually going to be for the slope. Whenever you see words like per day, per week, every month, every year, each time, that's going to be the slope value. The second helpful hint is find the starting and the initial amount. Sometimes it's the constant, like the one time. So a lot of times if you go places, you have to pay a one-time fee. Or like if you're ordering something online, you have to pay a shipping and handling fee. So those would be those one-time fees. And then number 3, define your variables. We're not just going to be using x and y anymore. We're going to be using other variables. So it's important that you understand what your variables represent. And remember, we talked about independent and dependent. Your independent variable is going to be your x. Your dependent variable is going to be your y. So in the equation, your x, and it might not be an x. It might be something else, but this is your independent variable, and your y is your dependent variable. So that's one of the reasons why we learned about independent and dependent. Alright, so example 1, copy this down. A local carnival admission is $5 plus 50 cents per ride. Write an equation for the total cost C and the number of rides R. So our goal is to write an equation. So let me start with y equals mx plus b. Alright, so that's our goal. Or y equals b plus mx. So let's start number 1. Let's find the words per, each, every. And in this problem it says 50 cents per ride. So that means if you go on 1 ride it's 50 cents, 2 rides is $1, 3 cents is $1.50. So your slope is going to be 0.5 or 0.50. That would be, oh, do you need me? Oh. We're like not even halfway.
So not real well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
Sorry. 0.5 or 0.50. Now the second helpful hint was find the starting amount, find that initial amount. And in this case, the local carnival admission is $5. That means if you go in and you don't ride any rides, you still have to pay $5. To get into the carnival, you have to pay $5. So that is your initial amount, your starting amount. You start at $5. And now let's define the variable. C is your total cost, and R is your rides, number of rides. Now let's decide which one is independent and which one is dependent. Which one has to come first? Can you get your total cost first, or do you have to have your number of rides first? And you have to have your number of rides first because that determines then your total cost. So your number of rides is independent, your total cost is dependent. So this is kind of like your x value, this is kind of like your y value. Once you have done those 3 things, then it's very simple. You can put it into your equation. So instead of y, it's going to be c equals m 0.5. Now instead of x, we're going to use r plus 5 because that's your b. And what this means is, describing it means telling what the numbers mean. The total cost is 50 cents per ride, so 50 cents for each ride, plus the $5 admission. Alright, example 2, copy it down. A gym membership costs $10 per month and there is a $25 joining fee. Write an equation to model this situation using M and C. M is months and C is cost. So again, we have our 3 steps. The first one is look for the words per, each, every. So it says $10 per month, so that means that's going to be our slope, $10 per month. That's our slope, every month. 1 month is 10, 2 months is 20, 3 months is 30. The B, our constant value, our initial, our starting amount, is going to be this $25 joining fee. You pay that one time at the beginning to join the gym, and then you don't have to pay it again. And we have 2 variables. We have M and we have C. M is number of months, and C is the total cost of that gym membership. Again, one is an independent variable, one is a dependent variable. Which one has to come first? You have to have number of months that you join or the total cost. And you would have to be a member for months, then you would know the cost. So this is like your X, and this is your Y. Now we put it into our equation. So C equals total cost equals $10 per month, remember because it's months, so $10 per month plus the $25 joining fee. And that would be your linear equation to model this situation. All right, example 3. Joel's mom gave him $200 for his birthday. He decides to spend $20 every month. Write an equation to model this situation. Now on this one they didn't give us variables, so we're going to have to decide on our variables. Let's look for the words per, each, and every. And here's the word every. So $20 every month. So that means that's your slope. $20 every month. He's spending $20 every month. So be careful. If you're spending money, does that mean you're gaining it or you're losing it? If you're spending it, you're losing it. So this one really is a negative 20. So be careful. The starting amount, how much money did he initially have? And the starting amount was the $200 that his mother gave him, and that's positive because he was receiving that $200. Now we need variables. So he is spending it every month, so we want to use M for month. And then that would be your independent. But then the other variable would be after he's spending money and he has it, it's not a cost. He's not costing money. So we could say that the money he has, the money that he has in his possession, or maybe his savings. We could use S for the savings amount. We could just use Y. Y represents his total money. The total money that he has. You can use Y. You could use X. We could use X right here, X and Y. So now let's put it into our equation. So Y equals the total money equals the slope, negative 20 per month. Or you could have used X, but negative 20 per month plus $200. This one might make more sense if you start with $200 minus the $20 a month. So this might be one of those equations where you would see it backwards. He has started with $200 and then he's spending $20 every month. Alright, so copy this down. So this one we have to describe what the variables and the values mean. So describe all the parts of the equation. Here's the equation. T equals 5M plus 85. T equals 5M plus 85. And here's the note. It's speeding ticket prices for miles over the limit. So that's the situation we're talking about. Speeding ticket prices. So we have capital T, 5, M, and 85. Well, we know that this is the slope. And we know that this is the starting amount. And because it says prices, we know that we're talking about money. So the ticket price, the total T, that means the total ticket price, because that's going to be your ticket price. The 5, that's the slope, so that means it's the rate of change. $5 per, now what could this M stand for? That's the question. What do you think this M stands for? So when we read the problem, speeding ticket prices for miles over the limit, miles. So M is miles over the limit. So every mile you are, let's say the limit is 65. Every mile that you're going over 65, it would be $5 per mile. And then $85, that must mean it's an $85 starting price or starting cost. So let's say it starts off at 85. It doesn't start at 0. Because if you get pulled over and you're going 1 mile over, they don't say, okay, that's a $5 ticket. You have a starting amount, then they add $5 on top of that. All right, let's do one more. P equals 200 minus 10M. 200 minus 10M. Sam is on a diet and trying to lose weight each month. So again, you see this word each month. So that must mean M is each month. Now the other word is he's trying to lose weight. That, because it's a negative, so we're trying to lose weight each month. And because we're talking about weight, we must be talking about pounds. So P is total pounds. Negative 10 means that's how he's trying to lose 10 pounds per month. And then the 200, that extra number, that's your starting amount, right? Your initial value. So that must mean his starting weight is $200. So Sam, $200, 200 pounds. So Sam weighs 200 pounds and he's trying to lose weight. So he wants to lose 10 pounds per month. Okay? So that's how you use real world problems, equations in real world, and we'll practice more tomorrow.